Jason Opick sitting down here with head coach and general manager Derek Lalonde in his office after the Gamblers had a tough weekend here at home playing the two best teams, the Waterloo Blackhawks and the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. And first, Derek, I want to talk about the progression of this young team, because looking at the Fall Classic, it seems like at the end of the Fall Classic they played extremely well. I know there's a lot of things to work on, a lot of skill out there, but moving into the Waterloo game, they really they put their skills on display, even though you guys fell short.
Very mixed emotions on the weekend. At times, very happy the way we played. We talked about not judging ourselves on wins and losses and the scoreboard early on and getting better, and that was the case on Friday. We played well. We made a great progress from day one, and we easily could have won that game. Now, we showed some immaturity, blowing a third period lead. We took a couple bad penalties. We had some miscues that ended up in the back of our net. But on a whole, very happy with where we were Friday. And then Saturday, probably took a step back. We didn't handle a team that was very good at what they do. They played a defensive style game where they had 5 guys back. They're very, very tough to penetrate, and we didn't take what they gave us. And all credit goes to them. Extremely well coached team that was very locked in, and we showed a lot of immaturity, not handling adversity very well on Saturday. So all in all, okay on the weekend. We have a lot of work to do, and we need to get better in a lot of areas, and I'll start practice today.
I thought there were some of the questions looking at your forwards. Alex Kyle had some questions coming into this camp. Could he roll with the bigger players in this league? And I thought really Alex did a great job this last week in scoring a pair of goals. Had a really beautiful goal there. He knocked the puck out of the air, getting into the dirty areas. But I thought he answered some of those questions this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a go-to guy. I mean, you look at Kyle Novak, Alex Kyle, Sheldon Dries, Nicholas Schilke. They're going to be go-to type of guys this year. They want that. Last year they were good players in this league that produced good points. They were kind of secondary guys when it really counted. That Chicago line last year really was that go-to type line for us. So I think they want to be those guys, and I think they will be those guys. It's going to be a maturing process for them too. And Saturday's a perfect example. Things weren't easy. We had a very good team that was playing very well defensively in front of us, and they weren't giving us a lot. And instead of doing things right, they want to take the game over because they know it's the best thing for their team. They weren't doing it correctly. They were trying to force plays. They were trying to take things that weren't there, and it just didn't work out. And it ended up being a tough night for us.
Let's talk about the two guys between the pipes splitting time. Mike Rotolo was suspended for Friday night's game. Saturday stepped in. What are those things? And I know it's tough. Mike Rotolo, Richard Saval are in a tough position because they have to play Ryan McKay, and you can't ever compare two different goaltenders. So really, I want to be upfront by saying Mike Rotolo is put in a tough position right now. But what are some of those things that you thought he did well, and what are some of those things that he has to improve on?
Well, I was happy with both goaltenders. They both gave us a chance to win. They both played solid. Not a lot of soft goals throughout the weekend. Probably a couple goals both of them want back, and I think both of them will make those saves in time here. And again, they reflect our team. Manage the things that you can manage, control the things that you can control, and that's being good in net. You don't need to win the game for us, but just give us a chance to win. And I think both of them gave us that opportunity on the weekend. I'm happy where they're at. Plenty of room for improvement, and I look forward to seeing those guys again this year.
With the style of play that you guys put out on the ice, it's up and down. You guys are going to give opportunities up on odd man rush, as we saw that this past weekend. But I thought both goaltenders did a good job of making some big saves on those when we were down a goal, or if we were down in the game. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, we are a team that plays in transition. We get our defense up in the play, and against two very good teams in transition, in Waterloo and Cedar Rapids, they're going to have to make some of those saves, and they did. And again, both of those kids made saves throughout that game, especially in the second period into the third, that gave us a chance to win, but just wasn't good enough as a team.
Up front, a lot of skill, a lot of talent. You got the veterans coming back. We all know what the veterans can do. Who kind of surprised you, though, up front this past weekend as a younger guy that you could say, hey, he could be all right in this league?
Well, I was happy with Nick Schmaltz. Nick still has a lot of things in his game he needs to get better at, and that's away from the puck. But he competed hard, and when he competes and he engages, he's winning puck battles, then his offensive ability is going to take over. And then the young kids, what I expected, the Brendan Lemieux, the Adam Winbergs, the Ryan Sorokis, those guys are getting their first hockey games at this level. It was up and down play. and that's going to be expected. But that's valuable experience from the weekend, and I think they'll improve. Really happy with Grigori Dekushin. He made an impact offensively. Again, another player has to be a lot better away from the puck. He'll make some strides in that area, but we want him to be an impact offensively. And he got us a big goal on Friday, and he made an impact for us offensively on Saturday.
One thing that I noticed with two of the best players that I think in the USHL played on Friday night, Vince Estraza and Kyle Novak, is when they get in traffic areas, they can hold the puck on their stick for long periods of time. How important is that when you're trying to create plays?
Well, that's patience and poise that you see from veteran players. And these guys have had success in this league already, and they're going to be go-to guys in this league. And I give both guys credit on Friday. When that was on the line, they both made an impact on the game. Kyle got us a goal to tie the game up in the second, and then he gave us opportunities and just missed in the third. But Vince was a guy that he took the game over in the third period. We were going into third with a third period lead. He was in on both their goals, and there's such a fine line with winning and losing in this league, and you need those guys, those go-to guys, to take games over. And I think both of them do it, and Vincent Estraza certainly did it for them on Friday night.
One thing we were talking about, and last question for you, Derek, and I'll let you go. One thing we were talking about in the press row after Saturday night's game, what the fans may not realize, and what I saw at the Fall Classic, and I'll let you comment on it, is there's a lot more parity in the league this year. I thought that the teams that weren't so good last year kind of caught up to the teams that were really good, and it's going to be a struggle, and there's a lot of talent out on the ice. Even if you're talking a Des Moines Buccaneers team or a Chicago team, Chicago really put it on. We're going to see Chicago, Dubuque. I mean, the list goes on, but do you see a lot more parity in this league?
Absolutely. I mean, parity is peaking right now in this league, and it should be. The league is set up for parity. Every rule we have within our draft, within our rules, is set for parity. And I think the learning curve on everyone, on the scouting side of things, everyone's at the same level, everyone's putting the same resources in. You're going to see parity throughout the league, and that's why every point is going to be extremely valuable. And we got to start learning how to get points on weekends like this, where we get two very good teams, probably better than us right now, but we still got to find a way at home to get those points. So with the parity of the league, it's going to be fun this year. Every point is going to be valuable, and we have to continually learn and mature as a team to find a way to win these hockey games.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Head coach and general manager Derek Lalonde.